surrounded by people. And I had no problem with that. But it was always the Muslims.
Meanwhile, Malcolm X, of course, the previous February, assassinated. They were blaming the Nation of Islam for the assassination.
What is all of this about? What was Malcolm teaching?
Elijah decided that Malcolm wanted to try to form his own nation and take the ball away from Elijah. And so a lot of people began to be very angry at Malcolm.
Malcolm all of a sudden is an enemy. Immediately after Malcolm's death, we had gotten word that our apartment had caught fire and it burned down. All this trauma had to follow to keep Muhammad Ali in check.
Now, there was a story circulated about that Malcolm's group was coming to assassinate Ali in revenge.
No, that's just rumors trying to scare me. Somebody's behind this, some type of organized something is behind scaring me this time.
Are you scared?
Scared of what?
So now we got a non-existent hit squad that's coming to shoot a guy who wouldn't hurt a fly. And so that's the move that we're heading into Sonny Liston fight for. They talked about bodyguards and guarding them day and night. The state police SWAT team will be in here.
Check, I want to line them all up. Look at this. Can you see? Introducing the challenger, Sonny Liston. His opponent, the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
The champion says a prayer in his corner. Clay takes the lead at the start. As he did the night he won the title, Clay uses the ring, makes Liston look slow. Liston stalks, tries for the body.
He had gotten knocked out by a punch he didn't see. Muhammad was floating around, and what happened, he made an angle on the guy. Liston had thrown a jab, his head went down. He didn't see the punch. He got hit right on the temple. When he got hit, his left foot picked up off the canvas, and then he crumbled. And he rolled over. Then when he tried to get up again, he fell down again. When Liston went down, there was a lot of confusion, and part of the confusion was created by Muhammad. He was given that salute of victory. Actually, Walcott couldn't start to count.
I haven't been used to going to neutral corners.
That rule wasn't in effect then. The timekeeper had been counting from the time he went down, and it was past the 10 count, and they were yelling at Walcott when Walcott got Liston up.
Well, I thought the fight was still going because we had started fighting again. Did you see that?
The winner by a knockout, and still the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
Now everybody is chanting fake, fake. Now I'm thinking about the afternoon of the fight. Sonny Liston is in a screaming fight with his manager, and it's obviously over money. And I'm thinking what's really happening here is Sonny Liston figures, screw it. Screw it. I got the money in the bank. I hate my manager. I ain't getting up.
The fact is, Muhammad, that many people are saying it was a fake because he didn't apparently get hit hard enough to be knocked out.
He got hit hard. I hit him with a punch that Jack Johnson used called the anchor punch. And it's a twist-like chopped right hand that is hard to see.
After the fight, now it's going to be our time at last. And he was always very fond of driving his big bus with everybody on it, right? So he wanted me to go ahead and just fly on back to Chicago and wait for him. I was in the hotel for 5 days. I never heard from my husband. I'm getting ready to call the newspapers, the television, the radio. I'm calling the whole wide world and let them know that Muhammad Ali is missing.
Sanji was funny. She was great. Became apparent she was not going to fit the Muslim mold. She was not going to wear long skirts. She was not going to do without makeup. She was not going to walk behind him slavishly and bear children one after the other.
5 days later, the phone rings. It's Muhammad Ali. My leader is telling me that I've got to leave either you or the nation. And when you leave the nation, you know what will happen to you. Remember what happened to Malcolm for leaving the nation? And that was, I'll see you in court, darling. That's how we separated.
Out of that rubble came the complete domination of Ali by the Muslims.
Look at all these beautiful, clean sisters. No powder, no paint. All of these black people here, not one cigarette in your pockets. No alcohol on your breath. No men winking and patting at other women. That's a miracle for so-called Negroes.
It was probably the most outstanding organization in this country. You have to live clean. I mean, really live clean. Your body, your mind, the way you treated your women.
Everybody respects and protects their women, but so-called Negroes. Some of y'all ain't worked a day in your life. Got your hair all combed down, shoes all turned up on a corner. How about, nigga, I'm pimping.
But Cassius, you're talking...
I'm not Cassius. You still calling me. I can't get on with you.
Mohammed, you're talking in
I'm not no white man.
You have to talk in generality.
So you want to keep calling me a white man's name. I'm not white. I don't want to be called after your name no more. I'm not no slave. I'm Muhammad Ali.
Many of the sports writers had trouble differentiating his name change from some shadowy evil with which they equated Nation of Islam.
The test of a reporter is not necessarily his willingness to support you. Do you understand that?
Well, I'm trying to. Your words are so large. See, I didn't go to college, and I don't understand the meaning of the big words you're talking.
Yes, but as I said, you are not a stupid boy. Now,
I was giving him that Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali. And I stopped myself. And I said, no, I'll not do that to you ever again. I apologize to you. Your name is Muhammad Ali.
Ali had a cruel streak in him when he disliked someone, and he intensely disliked Floyd Patterson, because Floyd Patterson would never refer to him as Muhammad Ali.
And that's it. TKO. Muhammad Ali.
Patterson, Terrell, a couple of guys got this thing about trying to get him steamed up, calling him Cassius Clay.
My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as the two contestants prepare for battle right now...
Back off of me, man! Back off of me, man!
And how important was the name? It brought out what I think was one of the worst moments of his life. I'm speaking about the 94 Terrell. But now here you have Ernie Terrell wheeling around the ring, vision obscured, really not able to defend himself. And Ali is really wailing on him. And he is screaming at him, "What's my name? What's my name?" He was clearly a hurt, desperately hurt fighter, and really a smarter referee, less timid, would have stopped that fight. It was one of the most horrible evenings I've ever spent boxing. It was so out of character for what Ali had been before that fight and for what he would be for years and years after it. It was almost venomous. And the name was the bottom line.
Why should they ask me and other so-called Negroes to put on uniforms and to go drop bombs and bullets in Vietnam? And I will say here boldly now on television, no, I will not go 10,000 miles to help murder another poor people simply to continue the domination of white slave masters over the darker people of the earth.
What about your unpatriotic remarks that you made?
You said you were the people's champion?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that you're acting like a people's champion?
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Ali dared to take controversial stands and positions that his predecessors just had not done.
I was champion at the time that the World War started. World War II started, so when my time came up, I had to go.
Cassius has made millions of dollars off of the American public, and now he's not willing to show his appreciation to a country that is giving him, in my view, a fantastic opportunity.
I seen the handwriting on the wall. I said to Ali, we got to get the hell out of the United States, and so we arranged for 3 fights in Europe.
The national outrage is somewhat diluted at that point. So he takes a fight in Houston, Texas, against Cleveland Williams.
A 1-2, and Williams goes down. He gets up at the count of 3, but there's a mandatory...
The best Muhammad ever looked was Cleveland Williams. You could play that clip over and over.
Now, Clay moves in there.
Muhammad looked like $1 million that night. He hit him in midair. That's how great he looked. Because the guy on the way down, Muhammad hit him 3 or 4 more punches.
And Williams goes down again. This time he's up at the count of 3.
Muhammad was so dangerous when he got you at the end of his left jab, because then all this rhythm went into play. And Cleveland was right there for the left jab. It was so beautiful.
It's apparent that Williams is in desperate trouble. Look at his face there, Bill. And referee Kessler steps in and stops the fight. Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion of the world still.
When the Vietnam War broke out, Ali goes and he takes his test. And he fails his test.
He took that test to go in the Army. That was his right score, you know. He wasn't kidding. This guy never read a book. He could barely read, you know, Ali.
Well, I'm told the Justice Department put tremendous pressure on the draft board to say, no, we got to get this guy.
Just can't understand how they could reclassify me as 1A when they were the ones who said, the government officials were the ones who said that I was 1Y and that I wasn't qualified. It was their decision. Now, all of a sudden, I'm 1A without any test, without notifying me or checking to see if I'm any wiser than I was the last time or any worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Ali has just refused to be inducted into the United States Armed Forces.
My intention is to box to win a clean fight. But in war, the intention is to kill, and continue killing innocent people.
Immediately, a politically appointed boob of a boxing commissioner in New York strips him of his license to fight, and all other jurisdictions follow suit. There had been no arraignment. There had been no trial. There had been no conviction. The very essence of due process had been aborted.
This fella they call Clay or Muhammad Ali, whatever he wants to call himself, is a disgrace to the nation.
Think they should give him the maximum if he doesn't go?
I think they should.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges. He was sentenced by federal Judge Ingraham to 5 years in prison and was fined $10,000. After being released on bond pending his appeal, he emerged surrounded by his attorneys, newsmen, and supporters.
I'm not burning no draft cards. I'm not burning American flags.
I said that I'm going to be a man. I'm going to fight it legally. If I lose it, I'm just going to jail.
Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, we had found out clearly that the only reason he wasn't going was because of his religious beliefs, and we backed him 100%.
Slowly at first, but over a period of time, generally throughout Black America, the feeling just spread that this was not our war.
It is my hope every young man in this country who finds this war objectionable and abominable and unjust would file as a conscientious objector. And no matter what you think of Mr. Muhammad Ali's religion, you certainly have to admire his courage.
Ali was not going to be permitted to fight, no matter what it took. This kid was not behaving either politically or socially correctly in the old establishment's eyes.
Ali didn't have nothing to go to. He had no boxing to go to. He had no job to go to, and he was broke. All he had was his religion and a new life and a new wife.
Belinda was his second wife. She was a Muslim, and she had always admired Cassius when she first heard about him, I think. Of course, she had all kind of pictures on him when he won.
He didn't ask me. He just told me, "You're going to be my wife." I said, "I am."
It was the best wife he had, a Muslim woman, a large woman who could bear children, was virtually hand-picked for him.
There was no romance. I was a teenager. I didn't know anything about anything. Ali spent a lot of time with the baby. What else for him to do?
Every time Ali tried to get a fight, the story always ended the same way.
Davenport, Iowa. Who asked them? We won't allow to fight here. San Jose, California. We won't allow to fight here.
Nobody would give him a license to fight, so we had to find some other means to make a living. Somebody signed him up to go and do speeches at colleges.
Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? If I'm gonna die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm gonna die, you my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Vietcong. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
He sacrificed so much, willingly, for this principle, that you could not help but admire him.
You had some horrible things happen in this country. Major race riots.
Black people are going to be the ones to suffer because rocks and sticks and hollering and breaking windows and burning buildings will not work against National Guardsmen with bazookas and machine guns.
I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land.
Martin Luther King is bumped off unjustly. Adam Clayton Powell bumped off unjustly. They took my title unjustly.
I'm not allowed to earn a living here. I'm not allowed to leave the country. The government has taken my passport so that I can't go out here to work.
He believed, he really, truly believed, he would never fight again.
He appeared in a brief but terrible Broadway show called Big Buck White, in which he sang a song called Mighty Whitey, which was interesting because Mighty Whitey was kicking his tail during this period.
When you think about the pressure he was under, when the mightiest government in the world come down on you, and they came down on him, and yet he didn't compromise. He stayed the course.
The time he was out would have been great. It would have been watching a master at work because he had reached his full proportions, full maturity. So the world never got to see the best of Ali. What you got was plenty, but you didn't see the best of him.
They took everything away from him but his family and his religion. Made him go through 3 years of suffering. Then the worst thing anybody could do, put a white man right there in the ring.
The natural opponent, the young white hope, to vanquish this evil black guy, Muhammad Ali.
In this auditorium, Muhammad Ali will try to show that the teeth of time have not gnawed away the sharp edges of his flashing attack. If his comeback fails, he'll become another sports might-have-been.
The fight took place in Atlanta because Georgia had no boxing commission and no one there could stop it. But it also took place in Atlanta because Atlanta was the center of black political power in the United States. There it was, Muhammad Ali on the comeback trail, Jerry Quarry, the hope of patriotic, God-fearing Americans.
I'm just glad to be able to go back to work to support my family the best way I know how. Boxing is my life.
When he came back to the gym, he was fat. I had to get the weight off because it was ugly. It was blubbery.
Many critics say it's impossible for a man to be off 3 years and a half and with a 6-week notice be in shape. It's impossible for him to have his wind, his timing, his speed, and his legs.
Every hustler, every player, everybody from fast black America was there. The incredible clothes.
Atlanta will be remembered for 1,000,000 years. The stars all came out because Muhammad brought out the stars.
That left jab is finding its mark.
You can't imagine the thrills and the chills. I've lost my mind. I'm saying, stick him, Ali, stick him, stick him, stick him. And he stuck him, and he stuck him.
Is fighting back, but the cut has been opened. Jerry Quarry going back to the corner while his trainer go to work on that cut. Referee Tony Perez is calling for the doctor. Quarry is upset about it. Referee Tony Perez has signaled the fight is over.
I want to say